What's up out there? I've done a lot since the last video, so probably good time to cover some things. And I kind of hit a good stopping point in what I was doing, and I just thought it'd be good to talk about where I'm at the moment and why I'm back on cartography. I actually was looking at some things and I thought, you know what? This is not a bad way to go. So basically, earlier today, I happened to go over into Township and the tasks. And if you go over to the Atlas of Discovery and scroll all the way to the very bottom, I have discovered 127 points of interest in cartography. If I discover 5 more, I think this was like 6 or 7 earlier. It's taken a long time to get these done. But if I do 5 more points of interest, I get 20 bank slot tokens. 100,000 papers, fine, but I get 20 bank slot tokens right here. I thought that was really cool. And then I started looking at this a little bit further and I was like, you know what? It's probably worth my while to go in here and kill off some slime shooters, some grumpy willows, maybe get these trader crates, poison bloaters. I try to do some of these that I can, because some of this comes from archaeology and some of this comes from actual combat areas. So like we could go into here. I don't think it's the iconic cave. I think it's this mucky cave. So there's the slime shooters right there. I could go get those. And let's see, I guess I can't do overgrowth, but there's grumpy willows. So some of this is going to require some things from archaeology. I may have to go back into that a little bit. Oh, that's why I got, okay. Yeah. So I was doing some Slayer tasks. I forgot what when I logged in, it said I had pants to collect. And I was trying to figure out where I got these from, because I'm doing cartography. It's not that big a deal. So at any rate, that's what I'm going to do for a little while now, is go ahead and get this done. I'll get 5 more of these done. These take forever. What am I even working on here? I don't know which one it is, but these just take a horrendously long time to fully max out. Where am I at? Can't even tell where I'm at here. Oh, it's this one. So it doesn't even show. That's the one I'm working on, right? I guess it's because it's away. So if I go over here and then do auto survey, now I guess it still doesn't show. But this is survey level 4. So we're at level 4. I thought it actually showed where it was. I guess it's this bar here, but I don't know. I feel like it showed more. But at any rate, this is very slow. It takes quite a while. So getting 5 more of these done is going to be miserable. But I thought I hit a stopping point earlier and I thought I'll just let it go. So basically what I did is I've been working on, since we got through the dungeon the other day, I've been doing a lot of combat. Now, one thing that I've done is gotten into the elite slayer task. So I let this thing run. I did, I think, enough hard tasks and elite tasks that I got both of those done. I got the upgrades done. So I normally do my slayer tasks in order. You can skip, like I could have skipped over to elite. But I like letting them go on the lower tasks because it builds up your Slayer coin. It does the tasks. You get, strength, hit points, stuff like that. You can build your XP up off of it. You can get materials to sell and things like that. It may be a waste of time, but I don't know. I usually go through it because usually if you go from hard to elite, you're going to use a lot more food. Whereas if you take that time to level up things in between, these aren't so bad. So I've actually unlocked master tasks. I've got all my upgrades for all my Slayer gear. So there's all the Slayer plate bodies and stuff, and then the rest of it's all over in here. So we've got all the ranged and magic gear, so I can just toss this stuff off, get it out of my way. And in the course of doing that, I've got all this Slayer coin built up. So I thought, all right, I'll get the blazing lantern and the climbing shoes for building up my ranged class. So we're still at level 81. I still haven't really worked on ranged. What I want to do with ranged is go into the Shrouded Badlands and kill these cursed maidens. They drop magic wands, and that will be a definite improvement for the magic gear that I have. So I want to kill those off for a while. And then that also opens up the bounty hunters for the Amulet of Accuracy, Defense, and the Amulet of Glory. So these are 3 amulets we need for the Fury of the Elemental Zodiacs, and I really need to start prioritizing getting that thing along the way. But I think that's what I want to work on there. I can do the what are we on? Master tasks? Is that the next one? Yeah. So we can do master tasks. I don't have Dark Waters unlocked because I haven't beat Into the Mist yet, and I don't have Unhallowed Wasteland. So those are the two master task areas. Perilous Peaks is also master task. That's why I ended up buying that boot. So that means we can start going into here, and that means I will start farming the hunting greater dragons for the Hunter's Ring. The downside is I would already be in here doing this, but this is going to require a lot of food. These dragons breathe fire constantly, and you're going to go through a lot of food. So I don't really want to mess with that right now. I need to get a lot more food. I've been running on, I don't know what I have, 17,000 lobster the other day. But with all the stuff that I've done in the meantime, I'm kind of running out of, when I say running out of lobster, 12,000 lobster may seem like a lot. But if you go against like those dragons later on, why are we healing? That seems odd. Oh, because I'm switching between my different gear sets and probably getting more health. So it may seem odd to say that I need more food when I have, 5,000 of this, 19,000 of that. I would love to have like 100,000, because when you go into those, especially those greater dragons, they breathe fire so much, they do so much damage over time, let's call it, that you just burn a lot of food for it. And I know we've gotten a lot of maybe some relics that are going to help, but it's going to cost a lot of food. So I'm going to have to go into thieving at some point. We'll probably have to go to probably the chef, and then we'll get lobsters and sharks and stuff like that. That's great. That's going to be cool and all, but it's going to be time spent thieving. So that's kind of why I stopped what I was doing. So what I was doing is I went through the Frozen Cove and I idled that thing out until I got this pet. So we've got this one. Ammo preservation's out, so it doesn't, if I'm going for completion, I would need this pet. And then I got the Volcanic Cave pet. That one's done. And I spent time, leveling up wood cutting. This actually went way faster than I thought it would. I need to get down to magic trees so I can get those magic logs. And we've had that discussion about, farming up. Oh, what did I need? There's some upgrade in here. Magic logs for this ship anchor upgrade, which would speed up this cartography progress. But I need so many of these magic logs. And I could go from seeds and farm up some trees if I get those. The problem I've had with that is I feel like you burn through the magic seeds, like you don't save them. Like normally you'd go through these trees and you'd retain some seeds, and I always feel like those don't get retained. We're almost up at 98, or almost up at 99 mastery on all these. That's starting to creep up. I did go through and reorganize all my herbs. So all of my herbs are going to be creating something, or farming up herbs. I've got each one of these sets. We've got Oxaline, Porax, Pigtail, Baronto, all that kind of stuff. So whenever I get ready to go back into Herblore again, we'll be able to do Diamond Lux and things like that. So that's good. But back to, we did wood cutting, magic trees. I definitely need to try to get through some more dungeons, so hopefully we can unlock the wood cutting and get magic trees. Then I went back into combat, and I spent time if we go over here to the melee side, I have the Infernal Claw, and then I also have an Ancient Infernal Cape for each, I don't have it equipped, but I have one for each of the combat styles, because I went back through the Infernal Stronghold and I let this idle for 12 times. You need 10 of those cores 10 of the cores, the dragon and the ancient claw to get the infernal claw. So I combined that to get that. And then with all the different clears that I had plenty of these. They're gone now because I've upgraded them, but I had plenty of the materials to upgrade those capes to get the better cape. I don't think I kept any of the other capes, did I? Oh, and I have a few extras. So I actually converted all the materials over. The crazy thing is, if you go and get the fire cape, it will upgrade, but it costs 10 gold and silk. Whereas if you get the infernal cape, it only costs 1 of the ancient silk. So it seems like this is harder to get the golden fire cape. It costs more materials. So at any rate, I upgraded as many of these as I could. I could probably get rid of all these fire capes and infernal capes at this point. In fact, I think I'll do that. I'll just sell. Oh, no, no, no. I have to keep them for this very hard task. I need to get 100 of each. That's why I wasn't selling the fire capes. So anyway, let's see here. I probably should equip this. Yeah, that's better. I think that's going to be better than the dragon. Man, maybe it's a draw. I don't know. But if I'm going to do Slayer tasks, I probably need to equip that anyway. But I cleared out the Infernal Stronghold. I got enough of those so I can get these upgraded capes. These capes are really nice. Like, that's got 5% damage reduction. What's the other one have? This has got 4. This has got 4% damage reduction. So it's an actual improvement. So if you have the Atlas of Discovery expand, obviously you're playing Relic mode if you have that. But if you have this, you get an extra % damage reduction off of that upgrade, which is great. And I believe these are a little bit more, maybe a little more bonuses. That's all 15s, or basically all 15s. And this is all, yeah. So you get a lot more bonuses from that. So yeah, it's totally worth having this Ancient Infernal Cape upgrade. That's a lot of bonuses to it. So that'll carry us through for a long time. And I went ahead and got that done. I don't have the Infernal Stronghold pet. And basically the only reason you run the Infernal Stronghold is for these cores and these capes. And then once you're done, you're done. There is a pet. I will try to get it at some point, and this was way easy to idle. So I don't have any issues with that. If I am going for completion, I do need to idle a little bit more of the volcanic cave to get some pieces out of that, but problem for another day. So the next thing I did after that is I worked on my attack, strength, and defense, and they're all basically high 90, almost 95. I think I worked up attack. So I got defense to level 85, and then I basically quit. 85 or 90, somewhere in there. I got it fairly high and then quit, because once I could equip the God Dungeon gear, I didn't care about leveling that anymore. I did go and level up my attack, because attack is the next thing you do for equipping God gear. The swords that you get out of the God Dungeon. So I kind of did it out of order. I would normally take strength up first and then attack and then defense. I did defense first so I could equip all the gear that I'm getting, and then attack so I could equip the rest. The defense would be for the armor, and then attack would be for the God swords and things like that. And then I started working on strength. So I worked on hard Slayer tasks and elite Slayer tasks, and I've built up these are fairly well leveled up. I've got a little bit more to go for 95 on both of these skills, the attack and strength, and then basically a level and a half, or more than a level and a half for defense. Now, defense, I don't really care about at this point. I like all these skills are good. I don't need to really work on these anymore at the moment. I could certainly level them up and take the benefits of more damage, more evasion, and more accuracy and things like that, but they're fairly well where they need to be. Ranged and magic are what I'm going to need to work on next. But the cool thing is with the melee skills the way they are, I can idle on Slayer tasks, especially with this gear that I have, because this is fully upgraded gear. In fact, this isn't the gear that lets you start getting into thieving. Some of the Slayer gear starts offering you thieving options. That may be the next upgrade to this. In fact, I could probably, does it show it on here? If I go do the upgrade item, yeah, so they've taken it out, doubling loot and combat and doubling items in thieving. So there's really no reason to have this for thieving. But if it was normal, you'd be able to go do this. So anyway, did that hard task, elite tasks, and then basically when I got done this morning, that's when I saw those township tasks, and I saw this one township task way down here, and I thought, you know what, that's well worth going to get, because 20 bank slots would be awesome. And then I started looking at the rest of these. I am at 59 Slayer tasks, which means that at 60, no, I guess it's, 60. At 60 Slayer tasks, I can get this, start buying the pants if I wanted to buy any of the skilling suits. And then I need 80 to buy the full suits, which, what is the token here to convert these things over? That requires level 95 township. So I just need to be able to, we need one more. At this point, I would be completing dungeons for township and woodcutting, because if I can get woodcutting up for magic trees, that's going to be a huge benefit. If I can get township up to 99, that means I could level up and get this skilling suit. I would love for the next thing, the next big chore or task that I want to do is get 80 township tasks done so that I could buy all of this gear, get to level 95. So one of the next goals will be getting 80 township tasks done. One more township task gets me the pants part of it. 21 more gets me the feet. And then if I can get another dungeon or two done to where I can unlock 95 township, that means I can get the skilling suit, and then I can upgrade the full skilling suit and then just have that equipped into this gear slot here. So I could switch between necromancer's robes or the skilling suit. So I think, or necromancer gear and the skilling suit. So that's one thing I want to do. An easy township task that I could get done right now is, I mean, we could go beat these slime shooters, sure, but I think on this elite one, I could buy this stuff here and get 10 million gold out of it. I think I've got enough gold to buy the necromancer suit, the full necromancer set. All I have to do is buy another full one and then trade it all off. And that would be a huge one to get knocked out. Some of this other stuff like creating the devil tablets and things like that. Like a lot of this is really easy to do at this point. It takes time, but like some of these normal tasks, Turkle Rider or all these Turkle, monsters to go fight, an adamant crossbow, that would so easy to do. I could get that off of thieving. I don't know if we can do carp at this point. I don't know if I can steal raw carp and regular carp. That's more of a fishing one. The adamant stuff, I can't actually smith up adamant gear right now, so this one's kind of a not going to happen. But a lot of these I think are very doable. Yeah, the dragon stuff, some of this I might be able to go thieve or get dungeons. Elder dragons, I could go fight those. I think I have the ability to do diamond bolts now. I think we got that with this last dungeon completion. Yeah. So I could level up and do diamond bolts. So there's a lot of township tasks that I could do that are just right there. So that may be the thing that I work on next. Although I really want to do Into the Mist. I think that out of everything that I could do, I think Into the Mist is probably the thing that I should be focusing on the most because that gets my passive slot unlocked, which I know it sounds ridiculous, but that frees up 4 items because I've got 4 equipment sets. That gives me 4 items, and those 4 items are huge going forward with everything else because there's so many things you can put in the passive slot that just improves everything else. I think I could, I have a feeling I could take this dungeon on right now, but I'm not sure. I don't want to do it today, but it's very possible that I do this in the future once I get a few things unlocked. Basically what I want to do is get some more gear. If I get a little bit of this god gear, like I think I could do this with the gear that I have. This gear basically sucks, and I'm not sure that the fight would be very good. But if I could get a little bit more God gear out of this, I think I could take out Into the Mist and not have an issue. So Into the Mist and township tasks are pretty much where I want to be. How long is this video? I do want to go through and look at the ancient relics real quick here. The combat ones specifically, not the non-combat ones, but I wanted to go through here. I've gotten a few. I don't remember exactly which ones I've gotten. I've been keeping a list, but you know, sometimes I don't, it's early and I don't get them all written down correctly. But for attack, I've got this 10% max hit added to minimum hit. And I believe that counts for all combat styles. So that's cool. And then we've got minus 15% melee attack interval. I have noticed that I am attacking a lot faster with melee, which is awesome because melee is always kind of one of the worst ones. And then target damage reduction is decreased by a flat 10%. So going into every battle, this is decreased by 10%. On the strength side, we've got 10% melee strength bonus from equipment, which I think I recently got that. And then a plus 2% chance to stun when hitting with a melee attack. I've noticed that. I've been doing a little more stuns. I didn't really realize where that was coming from, but on the defense side, I'm pretty sure we talked about this one before. A 10% chance to reflect damage and a 10% chance to convert a successful hit from the target into a miss. I believe we talked about both those before, so I don't think those are anything new. On the hit point side, and this may be where I was getting some of these look familiar. Minus 15% max hit points for the target, minus 3 second hit point regen interval, which is, we've talked about that one before. The auto eat efficiency we've talked about, and I'm pretty sure the plus 50 max hit points I've had before. Getting one more would be great because then it would unlock minus 30% damage taken during stun, freeze, or crystallize, which that would be huge because all of those add 30% damage. So that basically means stun, freeze, and crystallize is pointless. Ranged, we've got some accuracy rating. I don't think I haven't really ran ranged all that much. Magic, we've got the Frostburn. That's been there for a while. 40 minimum spell damage has been there for a while, I think. Rune Preservation, I think that's been there for a while, and plus 10 hidden magic level. I haven't ran magic in a while, so I think those have been there. On the prayer side, this is what I got the other day. Plus 2.5% of all damage taken is added as prayer points. Rounded down, but still, that's huge. So, and then there's a minus 2 prayer point cost. I think I've talked about this one before. I've definitely seen it before. And then plus 100 prayer points gained from burying bones. So those are both huge. And then I must have got one from Slayer. I guess it was Strength Relic 2 is the one that I noted. So that must be what I got. I've got Strength Relic 2 noted in my notes here. But then on the Slayer side, we've got plus 100% of poison damage dealt is gained as Slayer coins. I think I saw that one pop up the other day. I thought that was huge. Plus 25% Slayer coins, minus 0.3 second monster respawn timer, and that does not say Slayer monsters, that says monster respawn. So that helps all monster fights. And then we've got plus 50% gold from Slayer task monsters, which is cool. If we can get another one of these, that bypasses all Slayer area item requirements, and that will be huge because I can sell off all the Slayer items that I have for getting into an area, which is awesome because that's what the level 99 Slayer cape does, is it bypasses, I'm pretty sure the Slayer cape bypasses the area requirements. Where's it at? Yeah. Bypass Slayer area requirements for less than level 100 Slayer. This, if I read this doesn't say under level 100. This says bypasses all Slayer area item requirements. So that's from the game forward. So it's definitely worth my while to keep going on Slayer. I did level up all my prayer, so I've stopped using prayers. That's maxed out. We've still got a long way to go with Slayer. Now, the thing that I'm kind of interested in seeing is at one point you used to have level 99 in everything to get Impending Darkness. Like you could not get into Impending Darkness without level 99 in all skills. So I'm kind of curious, like if I beat Into the Mist, well, I would be at level 99 if I beat Into the Mist. So I would not be here if I did not beat 2 of these Atlas of Discovery dungeons. So I don't know. Can you get to Impending Darkness without being level 99? Like, I know that's a base game requirement, but is that hold true with the Relic mode? I'm not sure. I would have level 99 in all the combat skills if I beat Into the Mist. But anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. I might spend some time this weekend just running a little bit on the air, water, and earth god dungeons, get a few more pieces of gear out of those. If I could idle those, it would be great. The problem is I can't idle these with the food that I have. That comes back to, because everything in there does a lot of damage over time, like with casting fire and stuff like that, or whatever breath they do or something like that slowly chews your health down and causes you to use a lot of food. Idling those is a little more food consuming than what I have, so I would need to go and thieve some. But I could do some manual runs in there, get some gloves and boots and stuff like that. The most common stuff, I don't necessarily care about chest pieces, or like chest piece and plate legs are usually the hardest ones to get. I could certainly go and idle, especially with ranged. I could idle the Hall of Wizards now. I've done that before, but I could totally do that again. And I could idle the Dragon's Den, get some ancient gear, and that will make Into the Mist so much easier, as well as the God Dungeon so much easier, because that brings up all my damage reduction, because right now I'm using all this garbage gear. And if I could get either God gear or ancient gear for all of this, that goes a long way. So anyway, that's kind of where we are today. That's kind of what my future plans are, is to get this cartography stuff knocked out, get 20 more bank slots unlocked. I've got almost 100 million gold, which means I could start buying another block of township in here. The town hall, I should say, that brings up my gold. I've already made 416 million off of this. That bumps up my tax rate considerably. I could probably do that right now if I sold a bunch of this stuff off. I sold a bunch of stuff earlier. I could probably sell some more, push that over 100 million, and then raise my tax limit. That's kind of a thing that I'm working on now too. So anyway, that is basically where I'm at the moment, and that's kind of where I'm headed for in the next thing, or the next little while. And Into the Mist is a very big possibility to do very soon. That's the next dungeon that I actually want to do, is Into the Mist. Very much want to do that. I'm very tempted to just try it, like today or tomorrow. Like, I really want to try it, whether I get all the gear or not. Maybe I'll spend today getting gear and we can do it tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's on my mind because that passive slot is huge. That is a massive win to unlock that. So anyway, that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.